What do you hear? What do you say?
Welcome to Chicago, where the fire serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Roc and Big Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the True Chicago Sports Fan Cave, this is the TCSF podcast with E-Roc and Big Z. Episode 108 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That's TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF shirts now. As always, I am Big Z, and in for E-Roc this week is Steven from the No Water on the Weekend podcast. What up, brother? How you been?
What's up, man?
Man.
You know what? I love the intro. Every time I hear it, I always love it, even when I listen to the podcast, but it feels weird sitting on this side of the table being the host.
yeah. So I've been on. So at this point, we're recording back-to-back podcasts. Right, so
right.
It's a little daunting because I feel being on the other side of not having to worry about recording or producing or just being a talent is completely different from when you like, hey, I just wrote this fucking outline and now we got to stick to this outline and cover these topics. And
right. I think, but the thing I love about your podcast is like you have a format sometimes, but in mine, we could get off topic, which is totally fine.
Oh, yeah, we were off the rails on your podcast.
We're off the rails.
But it was fun. I mean, literally,
but that's the whole point. Like, it's no water on the weekend. We're drinking, we're having fun, we're shooting the shit, and that's what it's about.
That's how it's going to be today because it's going to be a different format today for sure. Sure.
I mean, you're not at your studio. We're at my place right now.
Yeah, there we are.
I think that's pretty fun, and you're not at home or you're at your studio. So
I got a mobile studio, so it is always the TCSF studio because it's mobile, sir.
I'm gonna collect my rent after this. I'm just kidding.
Holy shit, people! Chicago and inflation, brother.
It's a true thing. We're talking about inflation on my podcast.
That's right. So I just want to say welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here. Me and you talk about sports. We're in a bowling league, and that's how we met. We talked about sports.
Yeah. I mean, that one time we did meet, and you fucking went on a rail of fucking like 4 or 5 strikes. I was like, how the fuck is this guy bowling so well? He has the same average than I do. How the fuck is he so damn good? And you went on a fucking.
You hit 5 straight.
Yeah, you went on a fucking bowling bender.
I mean, I also have to do that because like on our team, like I'm captain.
Oh, you're the captain? You're the anchor.
Yeah, no. I wanted to have my buddy Damien to be the anchor because there's me, Damien, Liam, and Nick. They're great. But it's like hit or miss with them.
Okay.
And I don't want to give them the burden with that, but at the same time, it's like I don't mind being the anchor, and I don't mind being the one that brings the heat and throwing the first strike. So
okay. I enjoy being first.
I've never been first, and that was the first time I was actually first in bowling.
I actually enjoy it. I kind of see it being the leadoff hitter.
Right, exactly.
I know after
like Anderson.
Right, yeah. Tim Anderson or anybody in the Cubs who's a fucking.
Anytime, anyone could be a leadoff hitter at that point.
Yeah,
they're just terrible.
For me, when I'm second, third, or whatever, it just throws me completely off.
Yeah, I've been third before, and it doesn't bother me. I just feel like you could use me in a situation where I don't mind having the pressure of closing.
I don't mind the closing, but I feel like if I feel my bowling, if I feel it during practice, and I'm like, okay, I know where I'm at. See,
I don't practice.
Well, you don't do the warm up?
I do the warm up. I throw a couple, but to me, I'll figure out the lanes with that. But I don't want to practice before or after.
Oh no! I'm talking about the warm up. I'm talking about warm up. Yeah. So you're trying to figure out the lane, like right. How is it oiled? Is it too oily? Is it dry? Where are the spots? You're trying to figure that out.
Right, and then how's my hand? Where's my hand at?
Oh yeah.
Like how much should I?
That's my issue.
Because I don't do two-handed.
The consistency. No.
I throw with my right, and then it depends on my hand motion, how much.
Yeah, the wrist.
It.
Yeah, the wrist thing. And for me, it's very similar, but it's like the consistency, and that's always the problem with bowling, right? You got to find that consistency, and then you got to find the oil pattern and then figure shit out.
Our approaches are too different.
1,000%.
I could go up there and just focus, aim, and shoot. You have emotion and the technique.
Oh my God, yeah. And the thing is, it's OCD. It's really OCD, and people pointed it out to me, and I'm like,
right. I've heard about it. Like your teammates always give you shit about it, but
but you know what I bowled last week? A 180-3.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that? That was the last game because I missed the first game. I made the second game, and I was like, you guys practiced the fucking first game, and they were shooting under 130. I'm like, my second game, I think I 115, 120.
When we played them,
Yeah.
and you weren't there,
Yeah.
Oh, we've like gone. It was tight every single time. But then, like I was joking with them. And I'm like, "Do you want to go 16-0?" Because we swept the first one, and like Nick, you know, I love Nick to death, and he's one of my teammates. But he's just like, "Oh, we got it, dude. It ain't over till it's over, buddy." I'm like, you could get a 6, a 9, and you don't have to strike out. And if you have an open frame, we're fucked. Because these guys over here, they could come up and hit 3 strikes in a row.
Oh yeah,
and we're like
Magic and Louis are very streaky, and when they're on, they're fucking on.
Right, and I'm like, I was joking around because like with any team, I'm like, oh, we gotta get them wasted. No, your team, you get them wasted, they perform better.
Yeah, we definitely perform a lot better.
Yeah. It does not work with you guys.
Well, welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
And if you're a first timer or a long timer, please remember to hit the subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us a review on your listening apps of choice. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can follow us on Twitter at True Chi Fans and IG at True Chicago Sports Fans. Don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click support, and you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. I know inflation is killing everybody, but you can spend $1 and, you know, support your friends. You know what I'm just saying?
Round up, it's $1.
Yeah, it's $1. Yeah,
$1.
Right.
It's cheaper than any Netflix HBO series subscription, so I think that's a lot better.
Sure. So I usually ask these people, and this is usually my co-host this section, but do you like the show?
I do.
There you go. Are you a fan?
Yes.
No,
I always publicize it and put it on social media and stuff like that.
So,
like I love sports, and my co-host Sean, like he knows of sports, but we will talk about sports here and there, and it depends who's actually here on the podcast. But like I follow as much sports as you do.
Yeah.
Like I listen to ESPN and I listen to different things, and I listen to Chicago broadcasters talk about the Bears, Cubs. You know,
it's depressing
Bulls,
right now. It's really depressing right now.
You know what? I am not a fan of anything right now. I mean, it hurts a lot.
The Sky's the only good team right now.
That's pretty much, and we're gonna.
And you don't even watch. Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Nothing against the WNBA, but it's just, you know.
We'll get into that later. We're gonna save it for later.
I have nothing issue with it. It's just, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a fan of the show and you want to support us, tell your friends, and they'll tell their friends, and we can all be friends.
I like that.
Yeah, you know, that's why we're here, right? We're all friends now.
You like it? I love it.
That's right.
How it works.
So, what did you do this week, sir?
Oh, it was an interesting week.
Do you remember your week?
I do. And, you know, from no water on the weekend, we drink during the weekend and no water. But this actually weekend, I was actually chill, calm, and collective, as hard as it might sound. But you know me, Jose, like we party and stuff like that. So Friday, went to C2E2 during the day. Thursday, we had bowling. I had bowling.
All right, let's slow down. Let's break down C2E2.
Okay, let's talk C2E2.
You went there to see who or what?
So, you know me, I'm a big Marvel fan.
Yes, sir.
You've seen my shield.
Well, right, we're here and here. There's a Captain America shield on the wall. There is a gauntlet with the stones on
Infinity
here.
Stones.
Yeah, you got the Infinity Stones, which don't mean shit anymore if you follow Marvel.
I mean, I always snap my fingers during 2020 to make sure COVID disappeared, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, you have a shitload of Marvel stuff here, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, we're here. What is that cartoon again? I always forget that.
Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
No, Bo Burnham.
No, BoJack.
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah,
so
BoJack Horseman.
He's a big fan of mine. If you watch that show on Netflix,
he's a fan of you, or you're a fan of his?
I'm a fan of his.
Okay.
Like, he's a celebrity. He likes to party. He drinks a lot, makes bad decisions, has anxiety, depression. So.
Sounds like us.
Yeah, a little bit.
So what else did you went to?
So C2E2 was great. I loved it. Like I told you earlier, I wanted to win a shield.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As much as I already have 2 shields, but the one that I actually wanted to win the raffle was pretty good steel. Like,
it was it tungsten or was it the fucking vibranium? What was it?
I wish it was vibranium from Wakanda. I definitely wish it was. But it's $550, and if I'm gonna spend $550, I'd rather spend it on equipment to update or buy for no on the weekend.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel. Like there's stuff that
I feel like also like if I buy that, it's like buying a luxury art painting.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so what would you do if you would have bought that? What would you do with your other shield?
That shield,
Yes,
I would
sir.
have replaced it, and
I mean, yeah.
I would put like if I made food or comida and stuff like that, I would have put it on there.
This is a big ass bowl now.
That's from Party City, okay?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Now the other one I bought off Amazon from Falcon and Winter Soldier, so
Okay.
that's an actual diorama, but it's like I'm not gonna be running around Humble Park with that and tossing it. It's gonna just break.
Well, if we did, you'd be breaking your secret identity, sir.
I mean, it's okay. So,
What else did you do this week, man?
and then I went to Winter City Smokeout.
Okay, so
that
you
was
little
cool.
country in you.
You know what?
Who's your favorite country artist? Let's go there.
I mean, to be honest, like I listen to the songs, but I don't really care. I go for the barbecue. That's why I was there.
Was there a good barbecue there?
Yes. Yeah.
Like who? All right. So you went there for the artist. So who's the barbecue people that you're like, I gotta follow these people now?
So Little Miss.
Little
is
Miss
from St. Louis.
Okay, so that's that sweet and tangy Saint.
Right.
Okay.
So the brisket, man, brisket was so tender, it was falling apart as soon as you like grabbed it with a fork.
Well, I mean, everything's getting smoked for at least 12 to 24 hours.
True, but have you ever had terrible barbecue before?
Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay.
We're not putting up for family members. I'm blessed right now.
Sure. I can tell you about Thanksgiving with my side. It's like I've always had dried turkey. That's why I hate Thanksgiving.
I fucking hate turkey.
Well,
Turkey and Subway.
Podcast reference to Subway.
Go listen to the episode. No water on the weekend. You'll understand the reference.
And Pearls are Chicago-based. Pearls is actually kind of close by Wrigley, but not really. But the same owner that owns the bar that I'm always at is Beck's. They own Tunes, that's by Wrigley, and then Pearls. So Pearls, they were there. So they're like more of a barbecue kind of southern place. I had their Parmesan garlic wings, and Beck's has great wings as well. But theirs were great, super like meaty.
Okay, so I love wings, and I love wings, and everyone knows I'm always at Output eating wings, and
it's better than B-Dubs, by the way.
Come on, B-Dubs is like we just talked about the other episode. It's like going to Applebee's. Any bar I go to, I always order the wings.
Right.
And people are like, why? I'm like, you have wings all the time. I'm like, yeah.
But you want to try new places.
I want to try new flavors. I want to try new experiences. Like the other day, I went to Max over on Wood and Division.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
So they bake the wings and then they put them in the brick oven afterwards.
Yeah, because you fry them with the sauce and then you bake them with the ingredients.
They don't fry it. They don't fry it at all. They bake them first and then they put them in the
right. That's what I meant. So they bake them with the sauce and then they fry them. In
the brick oven. Yeah, and it tastes great.
Right.
And I've also gone to District and they're okay, but people are like raving like, oh, they fall off the bone. I'm like, yeah, they boil them. Right. If you boil a fucking wing or you boil your fucking ribs, obviously they're gonna fall off the fucking bone.
I mean, that's how you know they're good.
Well, I mean, it gives.
Because I could get ribs from Mariano's and they're like hard to rip off the meat because they've been there all day.
But ribs, you boil to a point.
Right.
You give it a little bit to soften the meat. You might put some vinegar in there I
think that's for us who don't have smokers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't have a smoker.
Now, if you have a smoker, it's like so much better. And that's why, if I'm gonna go somewhere to eat barbecue and they have all that stuff, I'll eat ribs from there.
All right, so
because I don't want to have to do all that work at home.
I've got about 10 days left up before I turn myself in for my 10-month sentence.
I mean, I don't know. It's a job.
So we I know. I say
looking for jobs, man.
I keep saying my 10-month sentence. I got to go back to teaching. What I'm saying is like I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go to Beck's.
Yeah, dude.
And we're gonna film this. I want to film it. We gotta, we gotta put content out there.
I mean, at the same time, I was born with the bar when it came Beck's because it was before it was called Drinking Bird. I came with the bar. I met the owner.
Yeah, just like main output. Yeah.
All my friends who I've known till this day. That's how I met Sean, who's a co-host for
Nice.
No on the Weekend.
Yeah.
Like, he produces the podcast, but I met him there during the pandemic because we had to sit so far away from each other.
Yeah.
And that's how we met. And we were talking, yeah. And then Nick, my buddy too, that also Sean's friends with, he was behind the bar. And then I have another buddy, Matt P, that works there. So, like, it's always nice to be taken care of. But also at the same time, like, you leave a generous tip, and that's how I became friends with them. And that's for a while before the pandemic. I was there every Friday and Saturday because I felt weird going to a club.
No. Once you hit your like 28, you start like, you know what? This club shit's kind of fucking old. This same fucking people, same shit.
I would love to go if I had a crew that wanted to go, but I didn't have that. But I'm like, I'm okay with going to a dive bar.
I enjoy going to a dive bar way more.
Right, and I'm okay with that now. Like, I appreciate going to a dive bar. Now, if I had someone that had a birthday at a club, I wouldn't be against it.
No, I mean, I've done that. I think the last time I did a club birthday, I think it was like 35 or something.
See, I'm 30.
Yeah, so 35 I think is the fucking end all. Like, all right, we're gonna ship you off now to the dive bars now.
I mean, I don't mind dive bars. I love dive bars. I'll give you an example. High Low, that's right there in California. That's I wouldn't say a dive bar, but it's not that many people that go there. But
it's a chill bar.
It's a chill outdoor bar. That's great. California Clippers, another.
I love the California Clipper.
I wouldn't say it's a dive bar, but I would say
it's eclectic.
Yeah, exactly. And then Easy In, that's on Western here in the city of Chicago. I wouldn't say that. It's kind of like a divey, but not really. They do have a DJ there Friday, Saturday night, and I love going there.
I love going to Enjoy. Enjoy's always been my spot. I've always loved Enjoy since I was going to college.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time too.
Yeah, you get their 80s, the 90s music, and then they have hip hop night on some days.
I will say Sportsman, that's on Western. That's across the street from Easy In. Now, that's a dive bar.
That is a dive bar.
Now, I had to have a friend show me that bar, my buddy Matt.
What's the bar over there? And I should know this because I've been there, and it's across the street from my grammar school. On Augusta and Levitt.
That is Esmeralda's.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and I think to be honest, like, I thought it was a cool bar, and I'll go in there.
It's literally a dive bar because there's like nothing but neighborhood people in there.
And I also think that that's, you said on Division, right?
No. We're talking about this is it Levitt? Yeah, it's Levitt and Augusta across the street from the Christopher Columbus.
So then we're talking about two different things.
Yeah,
because I'm talking about on Division, still in Humboldt Park.
Yeah, that's more north. Yes, that's more north.
That one I'm not sure. No.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, man. So then, going to country thing, and like I said, like Smoke Daddies, right? Barbecue, like, circling back. No, but
yeah, Smoke Daddies is a staple.
Smoke Daddies, but when you see Smoke Out was a great time. Country's okay. But I was.
So you went on Saturday. Who headlined? Do you remember?
Sam
Hunt.
It
was Sam Hunt.
Sure. I mean,
Tim McGraw.
No, it's like house party, and I don't fucking know. I don't know.
So you really went for the barbecue?
I went for the barbecue. I got a free ticket. I went.
Oh wait, how did you score a free ticket?
Through someone.
You're not gonna reveal your source?
Nope. But to be honest, man, like, I went for the barbecue. It was hot as hell outside.
Oh, it was hotter than monkey balls, man.
We talked about this, and I'm like, dude, like, for me, I don't care if you're the same person as me. Like, if it's hot and sticky,
don't touch us. Do not touch me.
Don't touch. I don't know if it's a Hispanic thing, but I also think it's just maybe a guy thing. Because, like, if you're hot and sweaty, like, and you're with your girl or guy, it's like, don't touch us. Because, like, you don't want to be touched. It's hot.
This is the reason I don't go to Lollapalooza.
Hold on.
I don't go to those shit because I do not like being hot. Because Lollapalooza is always fucking 95 degrees.
Well, hold on. But it's bigger because that's at the United Center and it's very closed entrance. Now, I've gone to Riot Fest. I've gone to Lollapalooza. I've gone to Lollapalooza this year. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel claustrophobic. I didn't feel really hot. I had enough room to breathe.
Well, you weren't in the front though, right?
No, I was close in there, but I didn't feel the issue of me being like Travis Scott, kind of like era, like his show, like it's like so confined.
I don't like that.
I felt that at Windy City Smokeout.
Yeah, but, you kind of sardine in, like,
right,
when I drove by and I'm like, okay, it says, okay, people have to come through here, and then the stage is all way on the other side.
They only had one stage.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's that one on one side, and it's like you have to like walk through the entire thing to get to the stage.
Right.
No.
So my point being is, I'm like, Lollapalooza, like, yeah, it was big, but there's space to step out, and I felt comfortable. Now, I'm not claustrophobic, but it's hot out. There's tons of people. It's so humid.
And I don't like someone else's sweat touching me.
I mean, if I'm with friends, I don't really care. But if it's a random person, like,
yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
And that's exchanging body fluids. Let's be honest. That's the exchange of body fluids, and we're still in a pandemic, and we have monkeypox around. So yeah, I'm gonna stay the fuck away from that.
True, but my thing is the fact that it's like there's too many people, and I just feel like Windy City Smokeout is too small, and versus like Lollapalooza. Now I've been to Riot Fest last summer. It was hot. There's no shade.
There is no shade for Riot Fest.
I could drink, and I could drink water, and nothing would happen. I would just sweat it out. Like, so I would drink water, and when you drink a lot of water, you have to go pee.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
But I was sweating so much, I didn't have to go pee.
No, because it came out through your skin.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So did you know that the smokehouse used to be on Grand?
No, that was the first time I was ever.
Okay, so it used to be when in its inception in its first, I don't know, 5-6 years, whatever it is. It used to be on Grand. You know where the Chicago Tribune building is, like on Chicago and Halsted.
Yep.
So they have a parking lot underneath the viaduct.
Yes.
Okay, so when you're going on Grand, you're about to hit the bridge before you get to the East Bay Club.
Right.
So on the left-hand side, while the other tractor trailers would go in and deliver the newspapers, that's the parking lot that they used to be in.
Yeah, that's really small.
Yeah, and they were still charging same prices that they're charging now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I went for the barbecue. I wouldn't go personally.
So why wouldn't you just go to like the Naperville Fest or whatever? Because they have great barbecue there.
Yeah, I told you I don't go to the burbs. You go to the burbs to have a family and die and grow old. I've told you numerous times, like, I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah.
I love the Bears fan.
We'll get into that. No, let's say that. We'll get into that in a bit. We'll get into that. All right. Anything else you did interesting this week?
That's been pretty much it. I did that. Watched a couple of movies. Like, you know me, I'm a big movies fan.
Yeah.
So I saw Black Phone.
Black Phone. Okay, that's
a horror. And
yeah, who's the main actor in that one?
Ethan something.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
That's the theater?
It's in theaters. You could also rent it on Amazon Prime for $20.
Holy shit!
Now I've told
I'll
you.
wait.
I've told I've told you my opinion. Like during the pandemic, if you're able to watch a movie at home, I'm all for it. You could pause the movie, have a drink, have a cocktail, go make some, like, have dinner,
make some bad decisions.
Yeah, but you have the luxury of being by yourself. Now, I've told you, I'm a big Marvel fan. The one thing I do hate is when fans are screaming and shouting, "Yeah, oh my god!" I can't hear what's going on, guys. I can't hear it.
Simmer down. There's no closed captioning. I don't know what they're saying on the screen.
Now I gotta buy a ticket to go see it again tomorrow. Like, thank you so much.
Well, this is why you go to the matinee with the old people. I do. So that way no one's screaming or clapping at any point.
I've seen the last couple of movies at 3:00.
Yeah.
And a matinee.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I'm all for it. No,
I mean, like,
I'll catch the 11 o'clock show if I can.
But I'm like, yeah, I'll see it at 3:00. That's the earliest I'll see it because that's the only one that's available at that time. I'll go see it at New City 14.
Yeah.
I'll go there. I'll see it. I won't drink any water or anything because I don't want to get up. Because again, if it's not on Disney Plus or it's not on Amazon Prime, I can't pause it. So I got to make sacrifices. That's what I did with the Batman. I didn't drink any fluids.
What'd you think? Oh, first of all, people don't know. This man's a Marvel fan and not a DC fan.
I'm not, but I do like the Batman because I like Christian.
That's not Christian Bale. That's the Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. I'm a big fan of him. I don't like.
You're a big fan of him? Were you a Twilight fan or something?
No. I was gonna say I'm not a Twilight fan.
Okay.
But I did like his last movie that he was in. But I do. Dude, you know me. I'm an emo guy. Emo rock punk. Like, that's the vibes it gives in that movie, and I was all for it. Now, some people complain about it, but...
Why? Because it's dark? It's Batman.
Yeah, Batman is dark.
Batman is dark. Come on, people. Read the fucking comic book.
Yeah.
Or read something. Shit. Fuck.
But yeah, but besides comic books and bowling and doing the podcast and what else? Going to the gym and watching movies. That's pretty much all I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. It's fun.
All right, for me, well, this weekend has been a pleasure attending. I attended an improv class at Second City.
Yeah, we'll talk about you because what did you do?
Yeah. I went
I'm not gonna make it all about me, but
that's okay. I mean, you are the guest host, so I mean, you got to get some shine. No, I was able to go out this past Saturday. I went to Second City and I did an improv class.
Now, how long was that class?
90 minutes.
Okay, so yeah.
It was good. The guy was decent. I being a teacher, it's hard to.
Now you're a teacher, and like now you're listening to someone else teach.
Correct.
Now,
So
do you give critiques of someone else teaching?
I keep it in my head because he's getting paid, and I paid him to teach me. So I keep it in my head, and if I feel comfortable, then I'll pull him to the side and say, "Hey, this and that." But I am not an expert in improv, so I can't tell him shit, right?
Gotcha.
But he was doing some introductional games where we're trying to get our names.
Now, do you do that with your students?
Exactly.
So, okay.
So I was like, this is taking too long. This should be 20 minutes of trying to fucking figure out each other's names.
It's like, what's your name and what are you good at?
It was like, oh, what is your name? And then you point to the person. Oh, first of all, I had to say my name, point to the person. They have to say yes. Once they say yes, then I take their spot. While I'm walking to them, they're pointing at someone else saying their name, waiting for a yes so they can walk to their spot.
This sounds confusing.
Exactly. It was dumb, but it's an exercise to
now,
get you moving.
Did you have to pay for that?
I did. I did pay for it.
Did you ask for any money back? Because I would have.
No. Well, that was the first 20 minutes, and then we did some other name stuff, and then we did.
I mean, you posted about it. You seemed like you were having fun.
I had a blast. I mean, once we got okay. So first of all, I'm not a cat person. All right, I'm a dog person, and you had to impersonate or give a
you had a
performance. You had to perform. And he give you a category. So for my category, it was famous people or famous movies, and I had just looked at the replay pop up of Jurassic Park. I literally had just pulled it up on my phone that I wanted to go after. So I was like, oh, I'll do Jurassic Park. So I'm fucking walking like a fucking dinosaur and meowing like a cat, and it took about 3 or 4 minutes for someone to fucking get that I was a dinosaur.
I mean, I don't know. I would have been thrown off by you meowing like a cat.
Well, that was the thing.
I would have got the short arm.
Yeah, but every category, you still have to meow.
Oh, because the concept was being a cat.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's tough. But again, I'm going to the improv class to learn.
Right.
So it's also like, okay, so how to convey this message with my body because I'm not a good meower because I'm not, I
mean, I don't mind pets. I just if I went to your place
and
I saw your dog, right?
Yep.
Cool. Friendly, pet it, enjoy it, whatever. But for me as a person, I don't want to clean up hair. I don't want to have to be responsible for a dog taking it out. That's our responsibility. I'm an only child.
Yeah. Understood.
If I want to go out and get pasta, I can't because I have an animal here. Now, a cat's different, but at the same time, it's like there's hair everywhere. I grew up with 2 cats.
Yeah, they do shit a lot.
So, I mean, I just, a dog is almost like a child. So
It is.
So, as an only child, I'm only known to take care of myself. So,
and that's how you want to keep it.
It sounds selfish, but yeah.
No, it's understood. That's why you're an only child.
Also, it's terrible for that dog to be here by itself. No, that's a terrible.
Oh, 100%. I feel guilty. Anything more than 8 hours, I feel guilty of not being home.
Right. I get you. For me, that's why I'm I shouldn't be responsible for an animal.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to have that responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, we ended it off with doing skits, so we were paired off.
Right.
So he'll say, okay, this is your scenario, and the one person steps out, and then we swap, and then he's okay, this is your skit.
No, after you were done, did you pet everyone and be like, you're such a good boy?
I wish I could have, because that would have been fucking hilarious. I mean, I had a good time. He asked us back to come because we had a class, but I'm pretty sure he says that to everybody. I do want to continue it.
I mean, it's a great skill if you do a podcast. Like we were talking about earlier, it's great to have an improv. It's a skill.
Yeah, it's a skill, especially because I'm teaching. I'm always performing, and people don't understand that when you're a teacher, the fucking red light is on. If you
you're
know
a magician.
Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what the red light is, that means the camera has a red light on top and it turns on, which means you are on. And it's something that I would tell my coworkers. I'm like, you're giving a performance, and if your performance sucks, no one's gonna pay attention, or no one wants to do the work for you.
Right.
So if you're not a fun person that's engaging, guess
no one's
what?
gonna respect you too.
Oh no, not at all. You're gonna
Like
be
kids nowadays,
they'll
don't give a
fucking eat.
shit.
They'll eat you alive. They'll eat you alive. Yeah. So I did that, and then I for dinner we all went out to what is it called? It's an Argentinian restaurant. It's called Bodega. So
Okay,
it's
nice.
over in Southport, the Southport area.
Never been there, no.
You should go. It's fucking phenomenal. I ordered like the meat sampler,
Okay.
and it says for two, but I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah. No, it's
So it was like, it's 5 different cuts of meat,
Yeah.
of Argentinian meat, and they ask you how you want it cooked. I'm like, I don't want a degree over medium.
right. I don't like my shit burnt.
Well, I like the for the outside to be burned, like just a little bit.
See, if it's bloody, it's fine.
I like the pink center. A little bit of blood is okay, but I like the outside to be a little bit crunchy.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, I just want a medium.
Oh, you just want it just nice and soft.
Whatever it is, medium.
Oh no! So, see, if it's on the grill, however they do the churrasco.
But it's also difficult to make it medium in the middle, but also crispy on the outside.
Well, you have high temperature at the beginning, and you encrust the outside, so that way it doesn't burn the inside.
If I was a chef, I'd be like, that's a needy person.
I'm pretty sure that they get that request all the time, so it wasn't a problem. So I mean, the one thing that I did try that I stepped out of my comfort zone. I had spinach mashed potatoes.
That sounds great. I would eat it.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I ate both of those things separately,
Right.
or combine them, and it was fucking phenomenal. It was
Right.
phenomenal.
Yeah. No, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I did it.
But yeah, that was awesome. We had improv and then dinner. Let's see what else did I do. Before I went to the improv class, somebody was selling records in the neighborhood, and they posted a picture, and it was the Fleetwood Mac, the infamous Fleetwood Mac
Yo,
fucking record.
I love that.
everyone's looking for, and he had it for cheap. So I literally zoomed over there, and I'm like, all right, cool. I have cash because they paid out for bowling, and I was like, okay, I can use this cash here.
Wait, how much? Getting off topic. What place did you get in bowling?
We were towards the bottom. We sucked. Because we were 3 bowlers versus 4 every fucking week.
Now you said that you had gotten paid out.
Yeah, we got a small
like
payout.
$20, right?
No, it was more than 20.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
We're going to discuss financials now?
I mean, it's inflation outside, so any money you get.
Yeah, first of all, I like the money and I made money that night as well because we were had a
Also
side
playing
bet.
cards.
We were playing
did the
cards
same
and we're
thing.
bowling.
Yeah. I won $35.
Yeah, I won $35 that day too.
Well,
Plus,
cheers to
yeah,
that.
cheers.
Cheers to that.
And the thing is that I did it on the third game. Like there was a side bet going. It was $20 a fucking game for the last game, and it was scratch. And since I bowled bad my first game, their second game, I didn't jump in on that, and then I beat them all scratch. And I'm like, fuck,
Right.
I could have won like $120. I'm like, son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
And I got a fucking a royal flush and cards, and no one paid in for that game either. And I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, we put all the cash on top. I won the last game. I got 4 kings. So I actually threw a spare, got a king. Then I had another king that I got in a spare, and then I hit a strike, got 2 more kings. That's how it works.
There you go. Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's luck. So you know what? For me, my luck came through finding Purple Rain, Fleetwood Mac,
I
Queen.
love Fleetwood Mac. They have a great story. We talked about this on my podcast.
Two albums of Michael Jackson when he was still with what's the label?
Alive.
No, the label. No, not Alive. Well, the label, Motown. David Bowie, Van Halen, Depeche Mode, and 4 comedy records, 2 George Carlins, and 2 Richard Pryors.
That's great. Now,
That's a fucking haul.
That's great. I bet you if we went to my grandfather downstairs, he has it all bootlegged on DVDs from Mexico. 2, he has a bunch of records, so like tons. Like probably those are on there.
Is it? Is it all Spanish or does he have
Both
English?
mix, yeah.
He's
Like he loved the 1930s, 40s.
more boleros and shit like that.
Yeah, so it's like mostly like even English, like
Okay.
like dancing.
Oh, like swing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'll play it loud as hell, and you could hear it once you walk.
course.
Well, he's 90 years old, so
So
it's loud as hell.
because he can't hear. Yeah.
Exactly. He's having a party in there, and there's no party besides him. So
Oh man, and I'm telling you, it was a busy week. This past Friday, I was able.
I mean, it sounds like fun. I mean, that's a great time. And, you know, being in Chicago, if you're not from here, there's always stuff going on.
There's always something to do in Chicago. There's always, again,
like I told you, like this week there's for Father's Day weekend it's always Puerto Rican Fest. Then the next month is Colombian Fest. Then the next month you have Dominican Republic.
You got the Pride Fest, and
but I mean, like
there's like 4 fests a day.
Park right now, so that festival is always like filled with something.
Oh yeah. The park is always filled with something.
Same thing with Douglas Park. There's always something. And I read an article that there's only 2 weeks out of the whole summer that there's nothing there. It's always filled with something. And now I don't know a whole lot of things that go on in Douglas Park, but that's the article that it said. So I don't know how credible that is.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these concerts.
All I know is Riot Fest is there, but I don't know any other.
A lot of the concerts, a lot of those venues have been moved around from Humboldt Park to Douglas to Reese, and now even to the suburbs. They've been moved out there. So, like the Swingers Fest was supposed to be in Douglas Park, and then something didn't work out, and they moved it all the way to wherever the fuck it was in some suburb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Let me finish my week, sir. I went over and facilitated team building again. Yes, they hired me again, so I must be doing something right. For about 40 students at my alma mater at Northeastern Illinois. And again, it is funny how things can work out and come full circle. I remember being in the PE complex and learning all about team building and the strategies from my team building god, Dan Creeley. So I was able to snap a picture of me in front of the building. I did 90 minutes of teaching to some freshmen. It was that hot ass Friday, so it was like 90 something degrees out there.
Yeah.
And it was challenging. I'm gonna say it, and I adapted my games to minimize the amount of moving they had to do. But I had a great time, and there's nothing like getting paid to do something that's super easy.
I mean, yeah. Why not?
Why can't we get paid more for this podcasting stuff? Because this is super easy.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't teach. That's for sure.
Oh no, that's not. That is not for everybody.
Yeah,
that is
I could
not
teach
for everybody.
Marvel stuff all day, but I cannot teach anything else.
It's.
I mean, I love history, but I could not teach that.
I think you'd be good at history teaching.
I mean, I love history.
There you go. I think that'd be your forte right there.
Oh yeah, we did a history trivia question earlier.
I think you'd be good at, because then you'd be like you put like, instead of like, well, it would be your bell ringer.
Right. Yeah, that's the first thing you come in.
Right. You're like, okay, this is the question of the day, and
right.
Again, you have to do that for 10 months.
You get extra credit. You don't get extra credit.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. You already got your teaching style.
There you go.
To wrap up my week, I did a little bike riding this week. I did 10 miles on the 606 and back home, but I found a pretty cool spot. It's called
We're on the 606.
I did the whole thing.
Oh,
up and down.
I used to run it all the time with marathons, but I'm like, I'm glad that you're on the 606. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, I do it on a bike because my knees and back and hip are all fucked up, so I can only bike ride. But I did find this cool burger spot. It's called the Stop Along.
Ah, that's funny that you brought that up, dude.
Because the art there that's hanging up is fucking awesome.
It is, and I actually just tried out the burger and pizza for the first time within a matter of 2 weeks. So
I had the burger with the Chicago handshake.
Yeah, so I don't like Malort.
I didn't have Malort. I had whiskey.
Oh, okay, so it's funny that you bring that up because like I said, I've gone there the last 2 weeks. It's a great place. I used to park my car when I lived in the burbs with my parents. I would park my car there, run the 606. So I would train there, but I would never eat there.
Gotcha.
So now, during Lollapalooza, my buddy Matt, we went there, did the handshake, and had a burger. I thought it was great. It's a great smash burger.
Yeah, well, the thing is that people are like...
There's a difference between a burger and a smash burger. Because I could take you to Lucy's, and it's not a smash burger, but it's really good.
Okay, well, take me to Lucy's then.
Okay.
All right, then. Deal. No, well, the biggest thing was like, Au Cheval Small is down the street.
Yeah, Small Cheval.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, you should go there. I'm like, yeah, but there's tons of burger places around here that I grew up with.
Now, Small Cheval is great. I do like it.
I seen the pictures. I'm like, there's nothing fancy about that I would want to have. Nothing attracts me to that place.
Now, with the Stop Along, you've seen the toys that are on top. Did you go inside and see?
I went in, so I used the restroom. So on the way to the restroom, I saw a lot of the artwork, and I took some pictures, but I didn't see any toys.
And it's funny.
But there is some video games in the back. I did see that.
That I didn't use the restroom there, but when I've ate there, they have a bunch of toys. So like the 90s Spider-Man, the 90s X-Men series, toys that I was thinking about. They have all those toys. I have all those toys in boxes at home at my parents' place.
Why don't you have them here displayed?
That's a lot of shit that I have to carry and bring over, and Yeah, they're fine there.
I'll give you $10 for the box.
No. I could go to C2E2 and have and sell all that shit for $10.
Sir, I tried.
Yeah, no. But other than that, yeah, like it's a great place. What did you have? You said you had the burger?
Yeah, I had the double cheeseburger.
Was it the Stop Along burger?
Yeah, the Stop Along burger.
So I had that. It was great.
It was fucking phenomenal, really.
It was great. I enjoyed it. It's a great burger. I like the burger more than I had the pizza because I had the pizza the following week.
Okay.
Now, when I've told you I'm a big pizza person. Pequod's is everyone's favorite.
Yep.
But how I judge pizza in the city of Chicago
Tavern style
is wait. One of my things is wait time.
Well, if it's tavern style, it should be out in about 20 minutes.
Right. Now, I love deep dish as much as the next.
I like Pequod's deep dish or Illuminati's. I don't like Giordano's.
Now, I don't Giordano's, Illuminati's,
too much,
Uno's.
Too much fucking cheese.
Any of that I will not go to because, again, it's like a chain that you go in the suburbs to have. Not for me. Mom and Pop Shop's great. Pequod's wait time is one thing. My tongue swells up because they have so much salt in the thing.
In the what?
In the pizza. So I'll go to Angelo's that's close by Bedford Park. Now, if I want deep dish.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that pizza place is phenomenal. It was in before the pandemic. It was actually at a location where it was a pizza fest. I got invited because,
yeah, I went to one of those things,
Yeah, so I was there, got to try it, loved it. They sold out immediately.
Of course.
But you had Giordano's, Uno's, and all that there, but they didn't sell out. But my thing is again, Chicago.
Give me the mom and pops. I'll go to Phil's.
Exactly.
I'll go to 35th and go to Phil's.
Or Bob's Pizza that's in Pilsen. I used to live in Pilsen on 19th.
Bob's Pizza in Pilsen. Where the hell is that?
So I used to live on 19th Street. So that was on 21st Street, and give or take. But I would literally eat there and order pizza. Now, it was thin crust. It wasn't deep dish, but it was thin, and it tasted great.
Yeah, the thin crust is Chicago style because
it's becoming Chicago.
No, we invented the tavern style.
Right. But for me, I'm like, Bob's Pizza is great, Angelo's is great. But in Pilsen, you're mostly eating tacos and burritos and stuff and tortas, which is fine. I would eat that too, and being in Pilsen. But I'm like, if I want it, but
I would eat a Pizza Nova. Pizza Nova was decent.
Right.
It's quick and easy. It's fast. It's cheap.
Right. And for me, I'm like, that's exactly what I want. I want it to be good enough. Now we're in Humboldt Park. There's what is it? It's right here on Division, and I order pizza from them.
Is it Durango's or
it's a pizza taco place.
Yeah.
I told you about it.
Yeah,
we ordered pizza here last time when you were in the podcast.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was fine. It was nothing. I mean, there's. It's hard. It's hard to be like, oh, this pizza's fucking phenomenal because pizza's pretty much pizza. It's hard to fuck up unless you really fuck it up.
But also at the same time, price is into it because we could get Rosati's. That's not too far from here, and you could get a small pizza for $21. We got a large for $21.
Right.
Yeah. So then that weighs the options.
Of course it does.
Of where we're at and how much you want to pay. You want pizza, but you don't.
But you want it at a reasonable price.
Right, but you don't want to go to Little Caesars. You want to go to Pizza.
No,
you don't want to do that. But then also you don't want to overprice Rosati's because it's just basic pizza.
Yeah, one of our guilty pleasures is Pizza Hut, though.
Right. But again, Stop Along is great. We should go.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Go have a couple of handshakes with whiskey.
I mean, I don't drink Malort, but the guy.
I said the whiskey.
Right. But the guy bartender remembered me, and he was giving me shots of Malort.
See, the only time I have Malort is at fucking bowling because everyone
drinks Malort there. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but it's also when they miss a 5-pin.
See, I can't afford that. So
unfortunately, I have not missed a 5-pin. In a couple weeks, and it does happen to me because I literally at Waveland during the beginning of the season, early in September, October, November, I missed a lot of 5-pins, and let me tell you right now, it cost me.
Dude,
it cost me.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm like, you can put your hand on a 5-pin for me, but I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get unemployment right now, so I can't afford it right now. You can put your hand up, hand down. I'm still not buying it. That's
right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be focused more on favorite Chicago sports topics weekly. So let us know about your topics. Let us hear about what you want us to talk about. This week's topic is going to be the first time.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, the first time. So we'll get into that a little bit later. All that plus stirring a pot and what you looking at. But first, this is the Big Three with Big Z. I'm Big Z, and you're not. Now for today's stories. All right, story number 1.
Let's do it.
Yeah. 3 dead, 1 critical condition over a lightning strike near the White House. Did you hear about this?
I heard about it. I saw it, and I'm like, if it's raining out, why are you outside?
All right, so 2 Wisconsin residents celebrating their wedding anniversary died following a lightning strike near the White House on Thursday night. This was confirmed by ABC News Friday. A 3rd victim, a 29-year-old man, has also died in the incident, police said this past Friday. And a 4th person is still in critical condition from the lightning strike. Police said the 76-year-old James Mueller and 75-year-old Donna Mueller, both from Janesville, Wisconsin, died after being injured in the strike in Lafayette Park in front of the White House. Metropolitan Police Department Chief Robert Conti confirmed that this past Friday that the Muellers were married, and Madison.com reported that they were in Washington to celebrate their 56th wedding anniversary. I mean,
I have a lot of issues with that.
You're talking about going out with a bang.
Yes, and also you're from the Midwest. Like, you should know, thunderstrike and things like that. You go inside. 2, also, maybe they were done with each other. Like, they were tired of being married and let's go out with a bang. Like, let's see what happens. Let's die. No, I mean, you're from the Midwest. You know what it is. Green Bay Packers are not going anywhere. So, you have that option of saying, let's go to Washington, D.C.
All right, so I'm showing Steven the picture right here. And it like the lightning that's coming down, like usually you see it's like a thin line. This motherfucker's thick, and that's what she said. And it's hitting the tree. So I'm guessing they were trying to stay in shelter away from the rain. But it's a thunderstorm.
It looks like you're in the White House property. That's what it looks like to
me.
Well,
it's a park right across the street from it.
Right, but that photo actually looks like they're behind the guards.
Yeah,
like
behind
the
fence. Yeah. I mean that's a gnarly
that's
strike.
Pretty thick. I mean, man, like if it's raining outside and it's thundering, like I've ran in rain and thunder. If it's lightning, I'm hauling my ass.
Yeah, I'm not standing next to a fucking tree.
I'm taking all the metal I have off of me. My point being is, I'm like, maybe they have superhero powers and become fast as lightning.
I don't know. Maybe in their next life, because they're not living anymore.
Probably. I mean, that's the point where I'm like, you're from the Midwest, you should know, stay inside, and if you want to go out with a bang, or disappear, like in Scary Movie fucking 3, the lightning hits them and then like their clothes just shows up. But no, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, hey, you know what? At least they lived a long life.
Exactly.
56 years
if you were
married.
Like 25, like that's a different story.
I mean, the younger person, the 3rd person, was how was it for him?
I mean, they were in the Nationals capital.
Nationals suck. The 3rd victim was identified by police by Saturday as Brooks Lamberston of Los Angeles. He was in D.C. on business, according to his employer, City National Bank. Brooks was an incredible.
He was actually probably seeing his side piece, but I mean, everyone in DC who has rich and money always has a side piece.
I've never been to DC, so I'm guessing this guy was in his early 30s.
Probably from Wall Street.
Yeah. Well, he's in a banking business, so he was from
Side
LA.
Trades.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like a lightning that just happened naturally. It was planned.
So lightning struck him and accidentally got the rest of the old people, right?
Just grab enough energy to make it a lightning bolt. God. Right.
Story number 2. Japanese city alarmed by biting, clawing, and attacking monkey, sir.
I mean, you had brought up monkeypox earlier.
Yeah, I know.
So attacking
sticking with the theme. In Tokyo, people in the southwestern Japanese city have come under attack from monkeys that are trying to snatch babies, biting and clawing at flesh, and sneaking into nursery schools. The attacks on 58 people since July 8th are getting so bad that the Yamaguchi City Hall hired a special unit to hunt the animals with tranquilizer guns.
I mean, this is Planet of the Apes right now.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. The monkeys are not interested in food, traps haven't worked, and they're targeting mostly children and the elderly. Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. I mean, if you don't want fucking bananas, I don't know. What do you want? Or cigarettes. I know studies where, like, they give monkeys cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. They get addicted to nicotine, right?
Right, nicotine, or they give them drugs and blah, 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 blah. But I'm just saying, I'm like, if they want kids and elderly, they're taking out the weak.
They are taking out the weak. They definitely are taking out the weak.
Planet of the Apes. I'm like, you can't really do anything with a baby because it's a baby. And the elderly, they're too old to fight back.
Yeah.
So,
they're going after
Planet of the Apes.
They're going after the vulnerable.
Yeah.
I mean,
monkeypox is affecting everyone. So I don't know. Planet of the Apes.
Well, the monkeypox didn't come from monkeys. It got named that. They didn't come from monkeys. It came from rats.
I thought it was someone who was having sexual relationships with a monkey.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's how AIDS started, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I wasn't there.
I wouldn't expect us both to be there because it happened a long time ago. I don't know the history. Maybe I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. But
we'll circle back to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this is what I've heard. Maybe it's not right, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like, please.
Yeah. Well, I'll come back with some research next week about the AIDS pandemic.
I'm just saying. I'm like, that's what I've heard from CNN.
Because the American, the American
Fox News is great and always on point. That's crazy. Like I said, Planet of the Apes. What's the next topic?
Story number 3: Troopers. Drunk woman drove golf cart on Florida highway. Surprised?
No,
Surprised?
I'm really not. Frisky, Florida.
It's in Titusville, Florida.
Anything happens in Florida.
It's like Florida and Ohio have the dumbest stories.
Florida, Ohio, and Virginia. We've covered many topics. I've told you about the topic about meth and leaving it at Walmart. But yeah, Florida does not surprise me at all. Frisky, Florida is what I like to call it, or Forever Florida, or anything with an F.
Yeah, Floribama.
Sure.
So a woman with an open bottle of Jack Daniel's whiskey in a bag was arrested for driving a golf cart on Florida's busy interstate while drunk, according to the arrest report. A 58-year-old woman was arrested Saturday night on the shoulder of Interstate 95. She's now facing misdemeanor charges of disorderly intoxication in a public place and resisting an officer without violence.
She was a Karen. That's what happened. She was like saying, blah, blah, blah.
Wait. I don't understand how she got those 2 charges, but didn't get charged with drinking and driving.
No, it's okay.
Where's the DUI?
That's it. Oh, it's okay in Florida.
To be DUI'd all the time?
Probably, yeah.
Fucking Florida. Oh my God.
That's probably what it is. I mean, like anywhere in Florida or anything like that, like it's fine.
Anything goes in Florida.
Yeah.
According to the Florida Highway Patrol, a semi-truck driver spotted the woman driving the golf cart in the center lane of the interstate in Brevard County, which is the heart of Florida's Space Coast. The drunk driver advised she observed the driver of the golf cart passing out while driving.
Yeah. She's on a bender.
She had a rough week.
But yeah, drinking and driving is terrible. Don't do it.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't be a Florida person.
Holy shit. I mean, can you imagine that shit happen in Chicago?
I mean, you have gunshots on 95.
I mean, there's some wild shit that happens on 290, but a golf cart?
No, I've seen where, I kid you not, like I said, I went to Lollapalooza. I almost got into an accident before I even got there.
No way.
So I was at a stop sign. I just turned left.
Mm-hmm.
I went right across, and the guy was in a nice, maybe, I don't know, 1975 car. A sport car that's great.
Yeah, classic.
Right, classic car. Almost sideswiped me. Missed. Then I turned right on the next street. This other car, this older lady, she, cut in front of me. Whatever, fine.
Yeah.
Well, another truck that's making deliveries, like for grocery stores, actually didn't see her in his blind side. Sideswiped her, her bumper and her mirror came off. That could have been my car.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, things like that. But I'm like, for a golf cart to be in a Florida highway, and they only have maybe like 3 highways.
I mean, yeah, and then
versus like Chicago, where highway, public transportation, anything like that, that's here.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a highway. I think the limit out there is 75.
Yeah.
The speed limit 75. Like,
but also,
what does a golf cart go up to? Like 20?
Yeah, or
if that 15 to 20.
Yeah.
And she was inebriated and falling asleep, so she was literally, so she had to be guided by the semi truck off the road.
Yeah.
And I've seen those videos where they help out like the bikers who run out of gas or they have problems, whatever.
Right.
And you have the semi just protecting them. But like, man, if it ain't for semi people, man, she would have been fucking
that semi person
smashed.
was really nice.
Oh, 1000%.
I would have been like, whatever.
I'm going around. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not risking my life.
Yeah. Whatever happens to you, happens to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, Florida. You never disappoint. I'm Big Z, and that's news to me. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Anchorman vibes.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
This is Enrique Calderon coming to you from True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast. Come check me out on social media, Enrique Calderon Official on Instagram and Facebook. Check us out.
Y te lo dice
Enrique Calderon.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Roc and Big Z. This week in for E-Roc is Steven from the No Water on the Weekend podcast. Thanks for filling in the big shoes of E-Roc, brother.
Yeah, man. It's great to be here. No on the weekend.
We're definitely not drinking any water.
Yeah, it's Monday, so again, I don't record on Mondays, but I usually don't record on Mondays because it gives me a small turnaround time. But I guess I'll be burning the midnight oil to get this episode out to our loyal fans. So, with that being said, this is the bottom line, and that's the bottom line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the topic of the week of this week's bottom line is your first time, your first love, man. Your first love, man. You never forget your first time, man. Never do.
You never.
Or my first love. No.
Well, yeah. I mean, that bitch. No, in all seriousness, this week I want to talk about your first time, and the first time I'm talking about is the first time you went to your first ball game.
Oh, that's
yeah. So it doesn't matter what stadium or what team you went to. Your first experience going into a ball game is magical. So
yeah.
What was your first baseball game? What was your first ball game?
So I'm a Cubs fan.
Yeah, I know.
And you know that.
Yeah.
I love the Cubs. I love them very much. They're a part of my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up, so I told you I'm an only child,
mm-hmm.
right? So my dad taught me how to play the game because I used to do pitching. So
okay.
I would be in the alley pitching with my dad.
All right.
Okay. So I was doing that in high school and then someone in college. But my mom is a big Cubs fan.
Okay.
And my aunt. And she actually taught me how to love the team.
Expound on that. What do you mean how to love a team?
So my mom had grew up and she's always been a Cubs fan all her life.
Okay.
She used to live in Wrigley Field.
Okay.
Before before her and my dad actually moved in together in Humboldt Park in this building we're in right now.
Oh, okay. So she was in Wrigleyville. Gotcha.
Yeah. So she grew up with the team, Ron Santo, everything, everyone in the Cubs, right? But she was always a fan. She always supported them, win or lose. And the Cubs, like Sammy Sosa, that whole...
he saved baseball. Him and Mark McGwire saved baseball.
Yeah, they did because of steroids. And you know what? They should induct them because
they should be inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Steroids made the game more fun. I'm not going to lie. And as
Chicks
much as I...
love the long ball.
True. But my point being is out of all the sports,
mm-hmm.
NFL, NBA, MLB is the bottom of the barrel.
It is now. It is not. I don't think it was. I think
not at that time. No,
I think right after the steroid era, that's when MLB started cracking out on this and that. And it took a nosedive.
But
I think
would you agree that
it was at its
MLB
highest
at that time? But now MLB is the bottom. No one really watches the All-Star game.
No, the demographics are 45 and above,
Right.
And I think it's a change in our society, our culture, where we want everything fast and we want everything moving, and everyone's like, oh, football is so action packed. I mean, if you really break it down, it's not that much different from baseball as far as action. If you put the timer on
Or
that,
an NHL.
I think NHL moves a lot faster because the periods are 20 minutes.
True.
So
but it's dead silent before they score.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
You hear the puck hit the wall.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
but
I feel like it's like WWE where they have microphones everywhere. You can hear everything.
Right. But my point being is, I'm like, again, growing up, my mom taught me to love the Cubs, the history,
okay,
who it was. And
right, so who was your favorite player? Did you have a favorite player before or after you went to a game?
Growing up, like when I really got into it, Derek Lee, first baseman, was one of my favorite.
So you're talking about
Aramis Ramirez.
Is that the 2002, 2003?
Right, because I was born in 91.
Okay.
So that's when I'm able to fill out a scorecard and actually have the math and be able to do all that.
So born in 91, so you're 10, 11 at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, and your first game was at Wrigley Field.
Right.
And you're seeing Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez.
And then growing into Carlos Zambrano, Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood.
Yeah.
And, I get it. I've gone to the White Sox field, guarantee rate now, with my uncle. Mm-hmm. Now, that's my mom's brother.
Okay.
So I would go with him. And even before I was 21, I have a history with the Red Sox.
Okay.
But I've always loved the Cubs. But the Red Sox, when I was 14, I went with my mom's sister, my aunt, took me to Fenway Park, signed my initials on the field 3 times. So they won in 2004, they won in 2018, and they've won the last championship, I believe. It was in
2004, 2008.
Yeah, 2008, 2000. That's 17. And I believe in 19 before COVID.
So they won in 04, 07, 13, and 18.
Yeah. So that 3 that they won, I saw my initials in.
Beautiful.
And then the other one they actually won on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
So I love the Cubs.
Yeah.
But there's always been a history with the Red Sox. Now, right now, the Red Sox, they're not doing that great.
I mean, they're in the toughest division.
True, because the Yankees
just fucking spanking everybody. But
great.
I want you to, before we get into the Red Sox thing, because I'm a Red Sox fan and we got time for that story too. But I want to know, give me the picture of you, 10, 11 years old, walking into Wrigley Field. That's what I want to know about.
I got a scorecard.
Okay.
And the smell of Vienna hot dogs going in with the onions. I remember, getting my first jersey.
Oh, you got a jersey that same day too?
No, I mean my mom got me one, but it wasn't with anyone on it.
Okay, that's fine. It's still a Cubs jersey, right? Yeah.
Right. Even to this day, I don't buy
Is it the big C on it? The big C with the Cubs in the middle. Okay.
Right.
Pinstripe, white pinstripes.
Right.
White jersey, blue pinstripes.
Right. That one I beat up as a kid.
Of course, you wore almost every day, right?
That, and also you're a kid, you're gonna get it dirty.
Oh yeah.
As an adult, you still get it dirty with drinking a beer, and mustard stains. But at the same time, I walked in, she showed me everything. They didn't have the scoreboard that they have now.
No.
Everything was original, just the
manual scoreboard.
Right.
Do you remember where you sat?
That I don't, and I had my most memories with my mom because she's been at her job in the steel mill as a buyer for pretty much more than my life. She's been in the steel industry probably at least 36 years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm 30. So she started when she was 21. So she's been in that same job.
She's probably one of the original bleacher bums or something.
Well, she's been in the bleachers. She's been everywhere in the park, but most of the times that we've gone to the games is because she's gotten tickets
Through work,
and that's how I've been able to go out there, see them, or if it's during the week, she would give me tickets, and then I would take my high school date to Wrigley Field.
There you go.
Right. She was like a good wingman when it came down to do that. But Michael Dominguez, I'm like, it didn't matter, and I've been to Guarantee Rate, even when it was before. Like, the feeling is different, and even when you go to the White Sox Park, like, there's no bars around there.
Sir, we're sticking to the Wrigley right now. So don't dog my park. Don't dog my park right now.
I'm sorry. But yeah, dude, the feeling is different, and even when I went to Fenway Park, I felt the same way as Wrigley.
All right, so
But
I'm gonna agree with you there, where you go to the historical parks, and I want to get into that in a little bit, but I still want to know. All right, so you walk into Wrigley Field, your mom gets you a jersey, you don't remember where you sat, okay, which is fine. I mean, it was a long time ago, a lot of drinks ago, and
but at the same time, it's like the Harry Carey thing, the
17-inch stretch,
that 17-inch stretch. It's just like,
was it a day game or was it a night game?
I believe it was a night game.
Oh wow,
Those
are magical,
right? And the lights didn't come on until what,
88.
So it was always day games. So, I was born in 91, so when I went to a night game, it was great. But also, like, we didn't stay because, I have school the next day. Right?
Oh, come on, Mom.
But at the same time, no, it's been great. And even to this day, like, we've gone, like, again, she taught me how to love the team and be a team sport. The Cubs weren't always that great.
I mean, you grew up a little, obviously a lot younger, but so you had the 98, you had the 03 Cubs.
But Ryan Sandberg,
the Ryan Sandberg game, and you were too young for that.
Right, but all of them, like the people loved them, even they could be dirt shit as a team, and people would still go to the games.
There's no denying that the die-hard Cub fans, right. And I'm not talking about the casual. I'm not talking about the casual. I'm talking about the diehards who know who's in the lineup, that know who's pitching, and have followed baseball, and especially their Cubs baseball, because Cubs baseball history is very rich. So we're not gonna dismiss them. So you're talking about the Ryan Sandberg, the Sean Dustins, the Mark Grayses, the Mark Pryors, the Kerry Woods. There's a lot
Baker and stuff like that. Coaches.
Lou
Pinella.
Lou Pinella, right? Yeah, you've had the greats, a lot of greats go through there. But I guess,
like, for me, like, growing up and like seeing all that, like, I kid you not, sometimes I'm doing my homework and I can't watch the Cubs because, I'm doing homework, right? But I'll hear my mom screaming at the TV. Now, there's a ritual at my parents' place where for the longest time before they won in 2016, my mom would say, "Salvador, are you watching the Cubs game?" Because then the Cubs were fucking up. So we had this thing where it's like we would tell my dad, "Don't watch the game." Like superstition stuff.
Wow. I mean, baseball fans and baseball players are the most superstitious people in the world.
Right. But again...
And then you factor in the Latin flavor into that?
Right. So I would be watching the game with my mom in the living room because, like, when my parents left here, I was 3. And then we moved to Rosemont Schiller Park area.
Right.
So then when I was growing up and I was watching the game, I was watching the game with my mom.
That's very rare because it's usually you watch the game with your dad.
Right. So when it came to the NFL, I was watching football with my dad. And my mom watches football. My dad doesn't like big crowds, so me and my mom would go to, Soldier Field and watch. So she taught me to love the teams. And
Cub fans and Bears fans have amazing similarities. It's ridiculous.
Even
win, lose, or draw, they're gonna fucking show out and they're gonna party.
And then growing up, like, we would go to the United Center and see the Bulls and the Blackhawks. I have a Chris Chelios jersey. You know what I mean? And the same thing with the Bulls. I have a Michael Jordan and Pippen. Like, it's still framed and it's like a size extra small for kids.
Yeah.
Right? But that's why I said, like, my mom was the biggest impact on me loving the team and going to the games.
So speaking of games, so far we got, you went to the game, you got a jersey. Don't remember where you sat at. It was a night game.
Right.
Do you remember eating anything there?
Probably a hot dog and popcorn.
Hot dog from the vendor or hot dog from like one of the stands?
Probably from the vendor inside.
So vendor inside. Oh, okay. Oh.
But I like till this day, like, me and my mom will go and eat outside Wrigley. Big Star, anything new now, but
Big Star, that's so new now. Come on, millennial.
Anything that's like new and updated, we'll go and eat before. But we would bring McDonald's in.
Yeah, before you can bring in food,
You
right?
could bring in food. Now you can't bring in food.
Oh no, not at all.
But before I would Taco Bell, McDonald's,
Yeah,
bring
put it
it
in
in,
your-
walk right in. They didn't really check it.
No.
And then
It's a different world. We were in a different world at that point.
Now it's like you can't do that. So that's why now we eat outside. But before, go to McDonald's. The old McDonald's before that hotel was built.
The McDonald's, the Taco Bell that's no longer there now.
No, Taco Bell is there.
Oh, it's Taco Bell Cantina.
It sells beer.
Yeah, but now that you're an adult, yes. But I'm talking about the old Taco Bell, like had the drive-through and everything, like literally a Taco Bell. And
Right.
I had high school friends that worked there.
Oh,
and
shit.
yeah. So like literally, like I didn't have a car, but like, hey, what's up? You're working there? Cool. I'll stop by and get a couple tacos and then go to the game.
I mean, my buddy Nick, who lives by Wrigley, I stop at that White Castle because there's no White Castle around here. But
Roosevelt and Western.
Yeah, that's close by Pilsen.
Yeah, the other ones. We used to have one on Milwaukee and Armitage, and that's gone.
But anyway, so like, all that stuff around there, it's like growing up and things change, but also at the same time, the love of the game or the love of the team, that never changed.
So that got you hooked with the Cubs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, my mom and my aunt were Cubs fans, and we would always go. So even if my aunt would go or me, and like out of my mom's side of the family, we're only Cubs fans. The rest are White Sox fans.
You were watching Cubs games before you went to your first Cub game.
Right.
Okay, so you knew I'm watching the Cubs. I know Harry Carey.
When I was probably like 5 or 6, I was going to Cubs games, but I didn't really know what was going on.
Okay, understood.
And then as soon as I got a little older,
to understand the game,
stats, and then the players, knowing their names, and then figuring out like who does what does what, and then I would play baseball as like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I didn't really fall in love with it until like maybe the early 2000s, and then going forward with that.
Did you? And this is, speaking from my personal experience, I would come home and the Cubs would be on WGN.
Right, yeah. My mom would.
And if it was on, I'm watching the Cubs. Because obviously I had no choice because there's nothing else on. But
WGN, yeah. Like my mom would be watching the game. I didn't really know what was going on, but I knew if she was screaming against the TV, like it wasn't good. So, like I knew if she was screaming against the TV, it wasn't good. But my mom does that. She has that energy. Like to me, she's that Chicago pride of it.
And she knew the players on the team. She
does. She
still follows the team?
Yeah, she still follows it. She does still get pissed off about the team now.
I mean, especially right now. Shit.
Right now, no. I mean, like, she has Comcast Sports, and she goes, "It's usually a Cubs game."
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, like, Hulu doesn't have the marquee. You have Comcast.
Yeah.
The only time I can see them is if I, go to Bex and watch them.
I'll show you how to do that. But
but my point being is, I'm like, I'm watching the White Sox game. I'm like, dude, like, I'm laughing because I'm like, Tony Russo is always drunk and he won't admit it, but that's a different story.
That's a different story for a different podcast. We're sticking to the Cubs right now.
But yeah, so I mean, like growing up, going to seeing Carlos Zambrano, Sammy Sosa, Derek Lee, Aramis Ramirez.
Who was your favorite player?
Derek Lee.
Why?
He was a great first baseman, and then Aramis Ramirez was my second. Alfonso Soriano was great. Kerry Woods was fantastic. Mark Pryor. I remember Ryan Terrio.
The Riot.
Yeah. Fukudome,
Yeah.
It's just like all these guys that had a potential. It's like with the Bulls when they had Joakim Noah and
Derrick Rose and Ben Gordon, Kyrick. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really good. That fell down.
It's very weird that it fell down.
Yeah, there's no ghosts here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like that whole era of sports was something where it's like, the Cubs I just loved. And
so I'm gonna say this, and you were spoiled because by the time you were watching Cubs baseball, they were turning the corner.
I'm an only child.
Yeah, but you were. I mean, obviously you're spoiled because you're an only child. But I'm just saying.
But I didn't ask for a quarter, and I didn't want a quarter. Everything I did on my own, and I kid you not, like I'm not the type. If I want to do something, that's on me. But I like to differentiate myself from.
But when you're talking about the Cubs that you're mentioning, I'm like, that's when they were good. And
they're okay. They weren't. They were good, but they weren't.
They should have won.
They should have won, but they didn't. They couldn't close.
Well, that's the Bartman.
You know what? I don't believe that because again, Fenway bullshit. Like,
well, remember, we're superstitious, and if especially you.
Yes, but at that time, hold on, they still had another game to play.
They did.
So that was on them.
I agree. You're speaking to the choir here.
No, I know.
I'm just saying.
Like,
I'm speaking for Cubs fans here.
But my thing is, as a Cubs fan, I'm like, I remember seeing that game.
The was it
Steve
the ground ball? No, well, yeah, that.
I remember seeing that game.
But
my
then
mom yelling.
It was the ground ball to the shortstop. I forgot his name. Fuck, I can't remember his name. The shortstop.
Right.
He fumbled the ball and they couldn't
Right.
get the out at first.
But again, that's on that player, and I don't think it's like that Steve Barton thing.
You believe that's on Alou? I mean, he couldn't catch it anyways.
I'm not going to say he could or couldn't because anything could happen in baseball. Like, you could reach over it. Sports is weird. But my thing is, you have another game. That wasn't like Game 7.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
No. So you
It kinda-
shake it off.
But it took the balloon. It took the air out of the balloon for them.
But it shouldn't.
I agree. It shouldn't have.
Again,
but that's baseball. It's momentum.
Again, sports today, regardless of whatever it is, you lose when you go back and you keep fighting. You get punched in the face, you don't get knocked out, you keep going.
And then we can psychoanalyze this for days because
Right,
you can look at like Lou Piniella. What the hell were you thinking of motivating your team?
Right, but exactly. And again, it could go multiple ways. Like a coach.
The multiverse.
Yeah, but a coach needs to motivate. Regardless.
Yeah, that is pretty much
Now,
your
I'll give you an
job.
example. Ozzie Guillen was a great motivator. He did not say what he felt. He exactly said how he felt and gave it how it is, and that's how players respected him.
Yeah.
Now, with the Cubs, I'm like, dude, you're accountable. Like, you could have a great coach, but if you don't have a great coach, like, that's not going to happen.
You know,
You're not
I watched it. And I again.
Now, for example, you're not going to get a title if you don't have a great coach to motivate you. Now, 2016, you have a coach that is new, that it wants to win. And has
quick
potential.
correction: 2003 was Dusty Baker, not Lou Piniella.
Oh, well, still, Dusty Baker, he won a World Series and
With the Giants.
with the Giants and with the Astros.
Or now with the Astros.
But he's still a great coach. There's nothing against him not being a great coach.
I mean, you're looking at players of Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood, Zambrano.
Those are great.
Matt
pitchers.
Clement. You had Sammy Sosa. You had Mark Grunzalanek, who was a fucking folklore.
Right. But you had these players, but what was missing? Leadership and determination. Because one, for an example.
You had a stud of fucking team. Oh, my
Right.
God.
But my point
Kenny
being,
Lofton, Kyle Farnsworth, fucking Mark Guthrie. Like,
exactly. But my point,
Alex
what is-
Gonzalez is the kid who fumbled the fucking
But
ball
my
shortstop.
thing is, what is the key thing if you have all these players? Motivation and accountability. You can't win if you're not accountable. I get it. You could mess up, but the next day you can't have that attitude saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna mess up again." No, it's a new day, new ball game. Like, you go at it and you do it and you win. And like, I'll give you an example. When the Cubs won in 2016, I thought, you know what, Cleveland Indians have it. They had the momentum.
Yeah, that was
I
3-1. I mean, I was like, holy shit, it's not gonna happen.
Right. And I'm like, man, it's hard to come through when NBA, and especially it's harder with the MLB because hitting and pitching has a big deal with it. Well, Cleveland Cavaliers were able to do it, and then the Cubs were able to do it. But my point being is, like, you don't want to be in a hole, regardless in life. You don't want to be in a hole, and it's hard to get yourself out.
No, I completely agree.
And you can't be negative about it because, like, you're in a hole. You got to get out.
So tell me about, we talked about the 2003. Talk about your experience with the 2016 Cubs.
Man, I remember quitting a job that I was at a temp because they wouldn't let me go to the fucking parade.
No, back that up. Tell me about. All right, we're looking at, was it Game 6, right? When they won Game 6, right? To win the whole thing.
Yeah. So when they played the Giants after they beat LA.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
So
I'm an LA fan.
hey, I liked LA when they hit Aramis Ramirez because he was a big fan.
Oh my God, I don't remember was he that great,
when he
but all
went
right.
to the White Sox, I was pretty pissed. I'm like,
Aramis Ramirez?
Yeah. I was like, you're
Useless. He was useless at that point.
The White Sox, yeah, good, take him. But I was pissed that he even went there anyway. And then he goes and works with the Cubs anyway. So, no, dude, 2016 was great. My mom and myself are a big fan of Kyle Schwarber and, Rizzo and Bryant and, Addison Russell dig himself in his own hole. But things like that where, like, that team is young. They're all my age. And at that time, and it's like, the city was great, booming. Everyone was a Cubs fan.
I mean, I wasn't cheering against the Cubs, but
No, but you're a better man because if in 2005 when the White Sox went, I was rooting for the Astros.
I see you're petty.
I'm petty. Yes, I will admit it.
How the fuck can you cheer for the Astros?
Because of the fact that I don't want to hear the bullshit that I have White Sox fans tell me, "Oh, we're world champs." Nah,
You were mad that we got it before you did.
I didn't want to hear it,
So
and I knew I was gonna hear it.
So you're mad that we got one before you did.
I was mad that I had to deal with the bullshit. Yes, I
Okay,
will say
there it is, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
am
He
petty.
admitted it.
Yes, I did not want the White Sox to get one. Everyone on my dad's side was like, "Well, it's the Chicago team." I don't give a fuck. I definitely don't want to hear from White Sox fans, "Oh, we got a ring." You don't.
See, I that was never me. That was never me because you know what? If you look at it at the White Sox season in 2005, they went wire to wire, but they almost lost it in
AJ
August.
Przinsky can't take a fucking punch.
That has nothing to do with winning the 2005 World Series.
All I know is can't take a punch. I'm just kidding.
That's nothing to do. Anyways, moving on. The 2005 World Series champions, they almost lost it, and they lost the lead because they got complacent. They got really complacent in August, and they almost lost the lead. But they lost one game in the playoffs, so that's dominant.
If I was able to go back in time, I would be able to bet on Astro games, but man, it was so good. It was so close.
It was a sweep. It's sweep, man.
I wanted the St. Louis Cardinals to do well.
Oh, wait. What?
Yeah.
You're cheering for St. Louis?
I mean, if the Cubs weren't going to make it, I wanted anyone to be able to beat the White Sox at that time. So I'm petty. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Even to this day, right now, the White Sox are a better team than the Cubs, and I'll admit it. Pitching, hitting, right? But their coach sucks.
Oh, well, that's where we will agree. That's where we will agree.
But you should be in a better position because it goes down to coaching and being a leader and being able to drive the team. Now, Ozzie is a great person. Sometimes you don't know what the fuck he's saying half the time, but like you still know what the fuck is going on and that he's heated about certain things.
There's passion, right?
Right. But they should be a better ball club.
They should be about 15 games over 500 right now.
They should be at least in the top 4 or 5 in the division because overall baseball. Overall, because you have the Yankees and you have LA.
You got the Yankees. You've got no. We're talking about. I mean, if you want to go MLB, you got the Yankees. You got the Dodgers. Those are your top 2 echelon teams.
I would say that the Sox could compete with them and maybe go the distance, but I'm not saying that they're going to win.
If you had Ozzie Guillen, I would say yes. With Tony La Russa, there's no way they can compete with any of these teams.
Now, I could say that right now, if the White Sox play the first round, they'll lose.
1,000%.
Because of him.
1,000%.
Because of him. And now, now as I'm getting older, I respect the White Sox, and I don't want them to win, but I know the team that they have
is a good team.
And I respect that.
Mm-hmm. And well, that's the general manager who put that team together, put that whole plan together.
Right, and it's a good team. And as a Cubs fan, I would love that, but it comes down to the coach at that point because that team is a really good team.
And you had the coach at the right time for the right players, and that's why you won in 16.
Now, who was the coach before Tony Russo?
Tony La Russa?
Who was?
Ricky Renteria.
Now, what did he do with the Cubs?
He did the same thing he did with the White Sox. He got those kids with no talent to play well.
Right. Same thing when the Cubs let him go because they wanted to get
the big name,
Joe Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he went to the White Sox.
Okay, first of all,
now,
go ahead.
Rick Renteria is a great coach.
He's a good motivator. Not a good coach, good motivator.
But what do the White Sox need right now?
A good motivator.
And that's the thing where if they still kept him instead of going for the name of Tony La Russa.
That wasn't the GM's decision. That was completely the owners trying to rectify firing Tony La Russa fucking 40 years ago. That was it.
The connection with Randolph.
Randolph.
The connection with the Bulls.
Oh, George Reinsdorf. Yeah, Reinsdorf. Yeah, he's the one that signed off on that whole thing and handicapped your GM. Yeah.
But my point being is I'm like, the White Sox would be a better place with Rick Renteria than they are with Tony.
Because Ricky's boys don't quit.
Exactly. He did it well with the Cubs. They were above 500. And then he goes to the Sox. They're above 500. They're winning games. But then, fell off.
Man, I'm not arguing with you, man.
No,
Because I mean, literally.
Like, I'm a Cubs fan, and I'm telling you about the things that I love about being and going to the Cubs games, freezing my ass off because I'm at every fucking opening day with my mom.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
Right.
Where do you sit?
every day is different because she gets tickets, free tickets.
Oh, so it doesn't matter. As long as you're in the building.
As long as I'm in there.
Gotcha.
I don't care.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Do you have a beer outside with your mom?
Yeah, now I do. And I remember the first time I was
Well, obviously not when you're 10, but yeah.
No, when I was 21, I remember we went to opening day. It was like 7 degrees, and she had her other, clients, and there was other people there from different accounts there that she had saw. And I remember the first time being in a bar, and I'm shooting fucking whiskey, and in front of my mom at Deuces and Diamonds.
Talk about weird.
And that's a club.
Yeah.
And it's weird because my mom is there, and I've been at Deuces and Diamonds when I was 21, getting fucked up and drinking and dancing with fucking girls. So being at that bar, and yeah, it just felt weird, but now it's fine. I do mostly drinking now.
Yeah. Well, now she's your DD.
Yeah, and she doesn't mind, and I love that. She
Well,
drops me off
she already went through all that. So she's letting you live your life.
You know what? She was more responsible. Like if you put me and my father, she'll always be the most responsible. She'll have fun and she'll have a couple drinks.
But she'll slow down a little.
She'll slow down, and if I know she's driving, then I'm like, I'm gonna have fun. My dad, he drinks. I've never seen him stumble or anything like that, but I'll be the one. Oh, I'm gonna take advantage of this. 1914 Club. I've only been there because of my mom. Catalina Club because of my mom.
Nice.
I would never be able to be there if it wasn't for her.
Oh, that's amazing, dude.
So
shout out to your mom, man.
Yeah, exactly. If anything I've ever done with the Cubs, it's always been a memory with her, and it's been great.
Oh man, I can't. I can't even knock that because this is your first and your perspective and your relationship with the Cubs, and that's what makes it special. So this is what I do. I love and I enjoy talking with Cub fans who actually know their teams, who actually respect the teams. They've gone through the sorrows and they, you reap your rewards, right? You were a fan when they sucked, and now you got your championship, and you know what I was there when so-and-so happened. I was there when so-and-so happened. I actually go to the games, and I know who's in the fucking lineup. I know who's pitching today. That I respect.
Right.
I don't respect the Cub fans that say, I'm a Cub fan, and they sit in the bleachers and don't know.
And they get shit-faced.
And don't know nothing
And they're not
about
watching the
baseball.
game.
They're not watching the game.
No.
Those are the people I can't respect. And it goes on both sides.
Right.
It goes on both sides.
Because I've gone to the White Sox park,
yes.
and it happens the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Same thing. It is on both sides.
But I know there's White Sox fans that know their shit.
Yes.
And I agree with them, and it is what it is, and I respect them for it. But, I mean, if you go to the Cubs game, 1914 or Catalina, it's like, business.
Yeah.
But I'm still watching the fucking game, but I'm also drinking and taking advantage of it.
Of course.
Of
course.
So that's the only difference. But
I mean, so for me, it's a little different. I mean, I'm a little older. I think my first...
What, 3 years?
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. My first game was at Old Comiskey, and it was the year that it was the last year of Comiskey. So 1990, I believe, is the last year of Comiskey. So my first game was that. And it's very similar to you. My first game was with my dad through the company, right?
Okay. Yeah,
free
same
tickets.
thing,
right.
Thing, yeah.
Exactly. So he's like, hey, we're going to go to this game, this and that. So we go into right under right field, and we're, go through the buffet. So you have the ribs, the burgers, the chicken sandwiches. Obviously he can drink all he's want. I'm a kid. I'm fucking 10, 11 years old. Same thing. And I'm fucking eating this up. I'm like, oh my God, this is
you
so
want
amazing.
that all the time.
I mean,
You're
this is
expecting that all the
amazing.
time.
And again, just like you, I don't remember where I sat because I was so young, and it's I don't remember. But I do remember walking into the white-faced brick, and it being kind of an old stadium, and the ramps and
but
the
that
smell.
feeling.
Oh, the feeling was. It was bigger than life.
Right. That feeling, the smell, the emotion, you just feel a different energy
coming
through you.
And I wish they really kept that building because I thought it was, it was one of the oldest at that point as well, along with Wrigley. And I thought that they could have renovated it just like they did Boston and Wrigley. But they didn't. And I still think that, too, if you look at the dimensions, I still think it's a better building than what the guarantee rate looks like, even though I love guarantee rate right now. But it is.
I like guarantee rate, but the only thing that issues me is, like, there's nothing around it. And the part with tailgating, you have to go in. They kick you out from tailgating. After
the first inning, you have to go inside.
Right. So, for me, I'm like, with Wrigley,
you have 2.5 hours prior to the game.
True. I get that. But I'm like, I like going to a bar. That's just me. I like going to a bar than going into the game.
And the bars around there are about half a mile away.
Right.
But because we got to remember, it's in a neighborhood that wasn't. The neighborhood that it's around is police officers, firefighters. It's civil servants.
Right.
So you don't have have neighborhood bars.
There's a couple bars that are around there.
Well, now you do in front of Armor Park. You have turtles and so forth.
Yes,
right? Yeah,
I've seen those. And
those are great. Those are really great.
I was also like tempted because I went with a couple buddies and I was done after the night. I'm like, I kind of want to go home, but I'm like, I'm wearing a Red Sox jersey, so
you're fine.
I mean, like, I don't.
Socks are socks. We support each other.
I'm like, I don't look for a fight, but I'm like, for me, I'm like, I like to have fun and drink and like, shoot the shit. But,
yeah, I mean, I remember watching the game, and again, I'm a little older, so my memories. And I even told you last. We talked about like, what did you do this week? I'm like, I have fucking no idea. I don't remember what the fuck I did.
I think it's all the alcohol for me.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Brains,
but your 1990 opening day lineup is Lance Johnson, one dog. Scott Fletcher at second, Ivan Calderon, who also played for the Cubs at some point, Greg Walker at DH, Carlton Fisk, Hall of Famer, Carlos Martinez at first base, Robin Ventura, who's young as hell, Sammy Sosa in right field, Ozzie Guillen at short, and Melito Perez was pitching.
And a lot of people don't remember that Sammy Sosa was a White Sox before he went to the Cubs. A lot of people forget that.
He was a Ranger before he was a White Sox.
Right, Ranger, White Sox, then Cubs.
Yep, we traded him for George Bell.
Right, exactly.
We went for power, and you guys got the speed, and then he developed into a great player.
Right, but at the same time, a lot of people are like, yeah, he was a White Sox player before.
I have tons of White Sox cards of Sammy Sosa.
Right, exactly.
With a Jerry curl.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked him. I thought it was a stupid trade, but that's what happens with teams, right? They make stupid trades that you may not agree with. Would Sammy Sosa developed into what he did for the Cubs? Probably not.
And I can't say that the steroids helped or didn't help, but they were a contribute to that era.
He was a good player without the steroids.
Right.
Was he a great player without the steroids? No.
Yeah, I think he was like an average guy.
He was a 30-30 club.
Right. He was a guy that would like get you the hits, get you the RBIs, but not the superstars that you see today that are always hitting home runs. Because without the steroids, I don't think he would have hit all those home runs.
So here's the difference between at that point in 1990 versus the Cubs. Obviously being older, and the Cubs were on WGN. The White Sox
I miss it so much.
So do I.
Because that marquee bullshit is annoying me and it's driving away fans. But
it is. But the White Sox were on cable. They were never on WGN. Maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, if anything.
Yeah, because they weren't. They were
on whatever Comcast, what it was called before that, whatever. So that's what they were, because they had their own station. And I thought that was alienating the fans. I thought that was the stupidest thing. And when I watched the Cubs game, I'm like, this is exciting. This is fun to watch. Why?
It's like, hey, like, you like.
Well, Harry Carey was on both sides, so you understood that. So you're like, why isn't my team on the TV? Why can't I watch my TV and have my team?
They were not on TV
until the old man died. Right. So the White Sox that year ended up with 94 wins and 68 losses. They lost the AL West, because they were in the AL West at that point, to the Oakland Athletics of 103 wins. I mean, you talk about a dominating team. 103.
And they didn't have a good stadium. They were using the Raiders Stadium.
They still are.
I mean,
to that point, yeah.
But I mean, they still are. But also, it's like
the dimensions are fucking ridiculous. I mean, and again, this is
Moneyball. But yeah.
Yeah. So you got the White Sox, and I get that experience, and then the next year.
Jermaine Dye was great. I'll admit it.
05?
Yeah.
I should have went to go with Joe Creedy. Joe Creedy was a fucking monster on defense, and he was clutch.
He was.
But the only reason Jermaine Dye got that home run that pushed us ahead.
And plus the catch for the perfect game for Burley.
That wasn't Jermaine Dye. That was.
Oh, was it? I
no.
thought it was, because I went to Guarantee Rate and I thought I saw him grab it over.
That's not Jermaine Dye.
Even though that was the day that I also was pissed off, but
So being at ballparks, and I try to tell like my friends who have kids, I'm like, take your kids to the ballpark.
Right. I don't have kids, but I would I would
give them that experience.
Right.
And I don't knock our ballparks here, especially now with the Wrigley, with the renovations. You're able to walk around a lot better than you did back in the day. You couldn't walk around the bleachers back in the day.
I mean, you can't go walk around the bleachers, but
there's a pathway now.
There's not. You can't go from the bleachers to the actual.
No, you can't walk all the way around. But you can walk from the bleachers. You can walk behind the bleachers. That's
right.
it.
And there's things that you could do there,
Correct.
which is great.
That's something you've never had before.
Right, but you still have a different experience, but you still have a great experience.
Agreed.
Right,
and it's a lot better. And it's very
right.
similar to Fenway. And that's what I was getting to. It's like I went to Fenway and I saw Yankees, Boston.
Oh, that was a great game.
And I'm sitting first base side, 5 rows up.
I mean, that's a great memory.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about.
Like, that's a great rivalry. That's before the Cubs were, like, probably, they were just developing, but that's.
I mean, you talk about, like, you seen the movie Fever Pitch, with Jimmy Fallon,
movie,
right?
yeah.
So do I. And I'm like, literally.
That's my mom.
Do not get up during the play of the game.
Right.
Like anytime there's action going on, do not get up. You can't. And that's how the Blackhawks are. And I'm like, okay, I understood that because I went to Blackhawk game. If there's something going on the field, do not move. Wait till there's a break and then you can move.
Same thing with like in baseball. Like don't move or get up in the middle of it.
No,
People
don't respect that no more. People don't respect that no more.
True, but like same thing with like Chris Chelios. I told you like that was a player that I had a jersey and that was my only jersey from the Blackhawks was because of him. And I actually at my birthplace he sang the 7-inning stretch and they were giving out hats. He tossed it out. I actually fucking caught it.
That's fucking amazing.
I have it. He's signed. It was 7-inning stretch.
That's awesome, dude. That is so awesome.
So
tell me about your time in Boston.
No, Boston was great. I went with my aunt, signed the fields, and ever since then, Johnny Damon. You have Aramis Ramirez. Not Aramis. You have Manny Ramirez. Big Papi. Kurt Schilling with his bloody sock.
Yeah.
And it's just like the atmosphere reminded me of the Cubs, and then
I found it better.
It's a different town, but I did like it. I liked the atmosphere around there.
I found that there was eerie similarities, but I still found Boston better than Wrigley in all aspects. True. And I'm not trying to shit on Wrigley or the Cubs. I just felt it was a way better experience.
Right.
Not only the fans and everything, and then what I did, before I got into the game, I went to the Marshalls down the street from there, and I got a Boston T-shirt, and I got a Boston hat. No, I'm sorry, I got a Boston hat. I did get a Boston T-shirt, but I didn't wear it that day. I ended up wearing my White Sox shirt, and they're like, "You're cool." It's still Sox. It's not Yankees.
Right. I mean, like, I love Rizzo, but he's on the Yankees. Now, that hurts me because I love the Red Sox, but I'm like, he's a Cub. He's a World Series champ. I want him to be successful in life, but same thing with Kyle Schwarber. He was a Red Sox. He was a Red Sox player, and I wish he would have stayed there and take less money than going to the fucking Phillies. I'm like, dude, it's like you have something great. They went to the World Series, and I'm just like, man. But I'm not bitter with Rizzo. I'm not. But he's a Yankee, and it hurts a little bit. But at the same time, it's like,
You know what'll soften the blow? If they win a championship.
I wouldn't be mad. I would say he deserves it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want the Yankees to win, but they haven't.
No, go Dodgers, baby. Go Dodgers.
No, I wouldn't even want, everyone says, well, the Dodgers, buy their team.
The Yankees have been buying teams for fucking decades.
Both of them have, but at the same time, right now.
The Dodgers have been doing it in the last 10 years, yes.
Right. But with the Dodgers, though, they do bring up people from the farm.
Exactly. They develop their farm system.
Right. And a lot of people say, oh, well, they buy their team. They buy their players. Well, yes, they buy key players, but they also have a good farm system where they actually do develop them.
Like, if you know baseball, if you look at the Dodgers roster, you look about...
Their pitching is all brought up from the farm.
Even the players that have left, like Jock Peterson, that came out through the system. You have Wood, and you have a bunch of players that came out through
that came up from the farm. It's not like they could buy every player.
Kike Hernandez, who's playing for the Red Sox through the farm.
Right.
There's tons of players that have left because they ended up getting Mookie Betts.
Right, but Mookie Betts was a great player.
Yes, he's still a great player.
Yes, he is. I wish he would have stayed with the Red Sox, but he didn't. He went to LA. Hey, go where the money is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge a player like, hey, if you're offered that amount of money, that's money, brother. Go get it. But I'm jealous because I want some of that money. But yeah, so I don't know.
I mean,
I love baseball so much. It's been in my blood. I've been a pitcher. I've been a relief pitcher. I've gotten hit by fucking pitches. I've been in right field. I've been in third base.
And we grew up in a little bit different. I know I keep saying you're younger than I am, but at that point, baseball was still a popular sport where people.
I wasn't gonna go in the NBA. I'm not fucking 6'7", so that's not a sport I was gonna go in. Of course, I love the Bulls and watching Michael Jordan, and hockey, I took ice skate lessons, but I wasn't that great.
I wish I took skate lessons.
And being in football in high school, like I love being the quarterback, but I was always the second string, and it's like because he was taller than me.
Yep.
So
because he can see over the line, right?
And to this day, I tell my high school friends, I'm like, look at Russell Wilson. We're the same height.
Now, yeah.
We're the same height. And, why couldn't I get that shot? But when it came to pitching and baseball, it doesn't matter who you are, what race, what color, whatever it is. If you could play the game and you're successful in it, you're going to be a winner.
That's right. Baseball is all about your heart, your hustle, and your muscle.
Exactly. That's why I love baseball.
There's nothing else to it, and height has nothing to do it. So I'm going to tell all our fans who are listening, keep up with the baseball.
Yeah.
Take your friends, take your family to a baseball game, give them that first experience.
Enjoy it.
And even if you're taking them, enjoy through their eyes.
Right.
Because it's completely different. We have our memories, we talked about it. But when you take somebody for their first time to a baseball game, whether it's to Wrigley or whatever ballpark you want to go, you're excited for them.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, look at this. This is cool.
Having a good time?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Look at this.
That.
Yeah, let me show you this. Let me show you that. So let me tell you something. And I know people are like, oh, baseball's dying. Baseball is a beautiful sport, and do not try to shorten it.
It's not all about the business. It's not all about taking your clients to the games.
No. Go out there and enjoy the game.
Exactly.
Disconnect for 3 hours. Enjoy athletes do their thing. Have conversation with people next to you. Eat the popcorn. Get the hot dogs with the extra onions.
Garrett's popcorn, Vienna hot dogs.
Yeah, you do the whole Chicago staples on there.
They even have beef, Italian beef. Enjoy the Italian beef. Get it soaked. Even though I don't like it baptized. That's the thing, baptized.
Yeah.
If you dunk it in for a long time.
No.
I like it mine dry. I don't know. But I can't eat beef anyway. So Italian beefs. So.
There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, take somebody to a ball game. And again, we can discuss these things later on.
Or
but
take us to a ball game. We'd love to hang out.
Hell yeah. Take us to a ball game. But you know what?
And that's the bottom line.
Closing time.
That's right. All right, fans, we'll be right back with Stirring the Pot after a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey, this is Mikey O, and you're listening to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast. Don't forget to visit Mikey O at Mikey O Show or www.mikeyoshow.com.
Hey, what's up? This is Lex Cruz from Jungle AE Recording Studios and Illinois Media School, and you are now listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with E-Roc and Big Z. In for E-Roc this week is Steven from the No Water on the Weekend podcast. Brother, it's been a blast so far.
I'm having so much fun being on this side of the end.
The time is definitely, it's different, right?
Yeah, time goes so much faster.
Time is so flying right now.
Yeah, I'm not used to it.
Brother, but it's that time again.
Uh-oh.
You know what time it is.
Oh, man, yes, I do.
It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, brother, so this week we are going to talk about pizza toppings by state.
My favorite.
So I'm going to throw some of the weirdest toppings to you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the three weirdest toppings, and I want you to tell me which one of those would you put on your pizza.
Okay. That works. I mean, you know I love pizza.
I know. All right. So number one, weirdest topping on a pizza. carrots? Is that a yay or nay?
Hey, they're baked.
They're not gonna. I mean, I guess yeah.
They're not gonna be raw.
Technically, they're baked. Yes.
I say yay.
Really?
I'd try it.
You'd try it. All right.
I'd try it.
Okay. All right.
I've had honey pizza with honey on there at what is it? The Stop Around.
Really?
Stop Along. I'm sorry.
Stop Along. Yeah.
Stop Along. They have actually a honey pizza, and it's actually pretty good. So I'll try carrots. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, I'm gonna be on no on that. Fuck that. No.
That'd be a no for you.
That'd be a definitely no. Why would the fuck I want carrots on there? That goes on the side with my wings.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah.
All right.
Ranch.
Number 2, avocado.
No.
Really?
Yeah. So I like avocado separate. I'll eat it on a burger and I'll eat it in a burrito because I can't pick it out.
Okay.
At Chipotle, I'll get it on there. But for pizza, I'm like, with the red sauce and avocado, I don't think it would taste that great.
You know what? I think the only way it tastes great if it's like a fresh oven brick one, where the pizza where it's like mostly crust, a little bit of sauce, and like the fresh mozzarella.
Yeah,
with a little bit of avocado.
I just can't see avocado on it.
The avocado has to be put afterwards. It can't be like a fucking flaming hot avocado. Like
right,
it can't. Yeah,
you won't eat avocado hot.
Oh God, it's disgusting.
Right,
it is completely disgusting. And some people eat like deep fried avocado. You know that? Oh, no, I'm out.
No,
all right, so that's a no. We agree on that one. And here's your third one: corn.
Corn on a pizza. I'm going to say no. I can't have corn on my pizza.
Because it comes out the way it goes in.
Yeah, like Austin Powers, fat bastard. I couldn't have corn on it. I could not have corn on it. I don't like mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm allergic to mushrooms.
I don't like anchovies.
No, hell no. Nope.
I'll have pineapple. I'll have ham, but corn, it reminds me of Roots Pizza because they have all fucked up pizzas like Doritos pizza.
Oh God, no.
Like taco pizza and all that.
No.
Like no, you know what? Just give me.
I don't like when they mix cultures like that.
No, I mean even when I was thinking of that place that has tacos and burritos and
pizza,
they actually separate them. They don't actually fill them in.
We're gonna put a couple tacos on top of your pizza.
I mean,
good luck with that.
You could order tacos separate and your pizza, great,
right.
but no, I couldn't put corn on it. It's not my type. No, not for me.
Okay.
Avocado, no. Yeah, no.
So two out of three we agree on. So
yeah,
that's not a bad stereotype.
I love pizza. I'll eat anything on it, but yeah. And when it comes to certain like vegetables, no.
Okay. So before we get out of here, we always talk about shows, movies, and stuff like that. So I want to ask you one thing.
What am I watching?
Exactly. What are you watching, sir? What are you watching that is not sports?
I told you I watch a lot of stuff on HBO Max. They might be canceled and go into Discovery, but right now I'm watching an animated show called Primal.
Okay.
It's an animated show.
Is that on HBO?
It's on HBO Max. It goes when the caveman is starting. So there's 2 seasons, but it's an every weekly show. So caveman has a family. T-Rex eats family. Okay. He tries to find the T-Rex. Is a female, tries to kill her, but they become friends.
Okay.
So his family's dead and her family's dead, but they become friends. There's no talking, but it's a lot of and like dinosaur noises, right? That's how they communicate with each other, but they befriend each other.
So it's very visual cues
and
so forth.
And they go on adventures, and then they go on certain things, and it's around that time. Now, second season, it's like they take a boat ride, and I'm not going to spoil it, but they end up in a different country.
Okay.
So now it's like a caveman that's he's a great warrior. It's like, but also, I'm a big fan of the show. It's a weekly show on HBO Max, but on Hulu, I'm waiting to go to my friend's place to go see Prey. I'm a big fan of the Predator.
That's on Hulu, right? That's the prequel.
Yes. So it is.
It's got nothing but great reviews.
Great reviews. I love the Predator whole saga.
Okay.
I don't really like the second with Danny Glover, but he is a great actor, and I will watch it. They do reference stuff and stuff like that, so it's all connected together. But it's a Native American community, and the actors and actresses that are all Native American, which is great.
Beautiful.
They deserve to be in that movie, and it is great, and I heard great reviews. So I used to have Hulu Live TV, so I need to get that back. But also, I was texting my friend before when we were taking a break. I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna go to your place and we're gonna watch it. So
there you go.
But yeah, so those two, Primal and Prey, the things you need to watch and check out. And
I'll definitely put that on my queue. And you know, speaking, we talked about this on your show and off air, the Westworld series.
Yeah, I need to jump on that.
The first 2 seasons you're gonna love. The third one you're gonna be like, okay, this is a big change.
Right.
And the fourth one you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I have no idea. And then there's a lot of callbacks and a lot. See, Westworld is so, and it's very an HBO show where there's so much detail in the dialogue that if you don't pay attention to that, you can get lost. Very Game of Thrones.
Well, right, and that's where it's like, well, if I can't drink and watch the TV show,
no, you cannot.
I'm gonna get lost at it right
no,
away.
No, you're definitely not. But and I've talked about Westworld a lot, but I don't want to get into that. But my show that I'm really watching right now is called
Call of Duty.
Blackbird on Apple TV.
See, I stopped that too.
You stopped that? Well, it comes with my phone subscription, so I get that.
Mine expired as soon as I got my phone because it's been 2 years.
Yeah, you got Taron Egerton, Ray Liotta, this is his last project before he passed away. Greg Kinnear, Paul Walter Hauser. So essentially, what you have is a playboy Jimmy Keane living his life in the fast lane, selling drugs and guns and stuff like that.
Sounds like a good time.
Apparently, and it's actually he's in Chicago and Waukegan area, so you see a little bit of that, right?
It's not, okay. My last show to watch is The Bear.
I heard mixed reviews on it.
There's some parts where the writers are not from Chicago, and they fuck up on that part.
That's why probably I got mixed reviews.
But at the same time, Chicago-based, gets the same idea as the restaurant industry. It knows the fact that it's like, if you're in a shit show, or like it handles the restaurant area correctly.
Okay.
But it doesn't handle that one episode that they talk about going and taking the expressway and to go to Naperville or stuff like that. They don't get it accurate, but
one job.
Right. They're not from Chicago, because we would get that shit right.
Oh yeah.
But my point being is, like, it's from Chicago and I'm gonna love it.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Now,
just because it is from Chicago, and
but
shameless dude.
But I've had friends who are in the restaurant industry say it's accurate. It's how it goes. But the only thing I can say is, like, the directions, or like they say certain things or certain streets.
Yeah, it's kind of like Chicago Fire, where they mix it up too. They won't say like, oh yeah, West Clark. I'm like, Clark, North and South.
Right,
sir.
There's no West.
Right.
But that's the only thing I could bitch about. But the whole concept of it, and then it being in Chicago, plus Lip being the main character, and then the Punisher being the older brother. And he was on Walking Dead and his best friend. But yeah. But anyway, I would say those 3 movies. Go see it. Chicago. And The Rookie.
The Rookie.
Yeah, it's with.
That's an ABC show.
No. The Rookie is with the kid that was a pitcher for the Cubs.
Oh, that movie. I thought you were talking about Rookie, the fucking cop fucking show.
No.
Oh, thank God.
It's Chicago.
Thank God. Yeah. So anyway, this is based on a true story. So about a serial killer. So essentially, this guy gets sent to prison. He's given 10 years after they pleaded him for 5. The judge is like, no, you're gonna get your full 10. And Ray Liotta's his dad. He was a former cop, and the guy is given the proposition of ratting out this serial killer, trying to find out where the bodies are at, and excommunicate his sentence.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
snitches get ditches. So that's how it works. Snitches get ditches.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what's been taking my time. I've been watching a bunch of like reruns on other shit, but I definitely recommend that. I've also been watching For All Mankind, also on Apple TV. That
Big Bang Theory, New Girl. I've been rewatching it because, again, I don't have Hulu, so I took that shit off. So.
All right, y'all. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts, and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your official shirts now. Don't forget your to check out our friends at the Shy Native Radio podcast, now available on all major platforms. Mike Logic, Ideo, and Throw MC talk about sports, movies, and all types of ill shit. And go check them out now. Also, they have a special event this weekend at Music in the Woods. This is going to be at Big Bend Lake in Des Plaines, Illinois, off Bender Road and Golf Road, August 13th this year. Ideo, Mike Logic, Fury, Green Lights Music, AM Early Morning, I Am God, John Bovey, Rich Sonny, Doc Watson, and so many more acts will be performing there. Sounds by DJ Hunt. You got Zumba in the morning with Nacho at 9:30 to 10:30. You got music performances starting at 11, going all the way to 7 p.m. You got food vendors. You got all types of different vendors. If you want to buy stuff, there's going to be a bunch of artists out there, plus food. You can get your tickets at idealraps.com, IDEAL raps.com. This is an all ages event. Tickets are needed for ages 12 and above. And we'll see you there. The whole TCSF podcast crew will be there. You'll have Mike Logic, who's performing there. He'll be there. So all the guys will be there. Even Gigantor will be there. So hopefully you can join us over there, brother.
You know what? I'm laughing because I'm like, man, I want to have a good amount of closing statements of all those people on my podcast. But yeah, no, I love to go and hang out.
Yeah. I'll give you the deets, man. You'll come through.
Show up. Come hang out.
Yeah, come hang out.
I'll post it on my Instagram and see if I have a couple people come out.
Yeah, that'll help out a lot, brother. Shout out to Ronesh, Panic, Serious Beats, and custom made for all the beats we've played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your moment merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us on True Shy Fans on Twitter and on TikTok, and find us on Facebook, IG, and on Spotify or Apple Tunes or whatever podcast platform you listen to. We're on it, except for YouTube, and I'm working at that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm working. I'm listening. I'm working. I'm watching YouTube videos on how to do all this stuff. So I'm learning. Be patient. So reach us at our email if you got a topic for us to talk about, whether it's for the bottom line or stirring a pot or some recommendations on shows. Reach us at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. This is Big Z for I was gonna say Sean. Sean left a long time ago.
Yeah, he left. He's on my podcast.
Yeah. All right, y'all. This is Big Z for Steve and E-Roc, who's not here. We'll see you next week for episode 109. Until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Oh, dude. Thanks so much.
I loved it. Let's do it again.
Oh, for sure.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. That's all. I shouldn't have had those artichoke poppers.